You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.
Prepare yourself for the Win Show on KZKO. Take part with the cast by sending your suggestions for each segment throughout the week or during the show by hitting them up on Facebook at World Improv Network, Twitter at World Improv Net, or the Win KZKO blog. Now, enjoy the show. It's local. It's global. You are listening to Win World Local News.
Win World Local News with Potter Smittss. Our top story today is brought to us by Win Twitter correspondent Jason from New York, New York. With the release of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus this past weekend, Apple claims to have sold 10 million units in 3 days worldwide, far surpassing last year's launch of the iPhone 5. However, China was not included in this past weekend's iPhone 6 launch, questioning whether or not geopolitics, discrimination, or payback for poor Chinese labor practices were behind the exclusion. To dig up the truth behind the story, let's go live to Win Workplace reporter Mike Rowe, who is at Apple headquarters in Cupertino, California, with mummified former Apple CEO Steve Jobs. Mike?
Good evening. Thank you, Potter. I would say the mood here is rather somber with Mummy Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, ever since you have passed on, shall we say, the Apple Corporation has come under fire much more readily and often than while you were alive.
This is true. For before I even passed on, I was protected by the spirit of Osiris. And now that my guardian is gone with me, the Apple Corporation no longer benefits from its protection.
So the spirit of ancient Egyptian gods was really the secret behind the success of the Apple Corporation? Am I to understand this correctly?
From the very beginning, when I was just a lad fiddling with circuit boards, the spirit of Osiris was there by me.
Well, why you?
Because I summoned him.
Can you please describe the ritual you used to summon the spirit of Osiris?
Well, it was 1976, and my mother had just prepared a tuna casserole, which we decided would be better utilized if it was a sacrifice, and Osiris loves tuna, apparently.
Oh. So you did not intend to summon Osiris? It would just kind of happened?
Well, we were kind of goofing around, but we were using Osiris as our idol, but we didn't think anything would really come of it. But when it did, there was much power, and the clouds shook.
So, really, the secret of all your success is blind luck.
And tuna casserole.
Well, blind luck that you had a tuna casserole to sacrifice.
Well, my mom made it every Friday night. That's not luck.
Mike, the question here I think what we're all looking for is what's regards to the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus's launch not taking place in China over the past weekend? Had it had something to do with labor practices or some geopolitics or maybe some discrimination? Can you ask Mr. Jobs that?
Well, I guess I can. I'm kind of more fascinated by this Osiris thing, Potter, but, yeah, what's the deal with not putting out a phone in China? You guys not like those people?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the current CEO. I mean, I don't stay on top of what
you're no longer involved in day-to-day distribution activities and logistics?
That was my entire life on Earth for the most part. I mean, when I was in my early 20s, I was already, developing a large technological empire.
Yeah, so you have given up on monitoring the Apple Corporation since your death.
Yeah, I mean, come on, I'm in the afterlife now. This is a whole other realm to explore. It's a whole new world.
Well, that's disappointing. Potter, apparently Steve Jobs really has no idea what's going on with the day-to-day workings of Apple these days. He's just hanging out in his mummified state, enjoying the afterlife.
Well, thank you, Mike. Well, our next story is brought to us by Win contributor Omar from Istanbul, Turkey. As the terrorist organization ISIS continues to sweep across Iraq and Syria, the largest displacement of refugees recorded to date, some 200,000 people, have just fled into Turkey after finding out that Turkey indeed has Starbucks coffee. To brew the story, let's go live to Winter National reporter Anderson Cooper, who is standing by with the Starbucks siren herself in an undisclosed secret location in Seattle, Washington. Anderson?
Hi there. It is, despite the circumstances that got me here, I have to say, being hauled off in a van blindfolded is not my preferred route. But here we are.
Yes.
And there are people running out of fear as well as a desire to have your coffee. How do you feel about that?
Oh, well, I feel, fulfilled. Because as a siren, it's my destiny, it's my purpose, my directive at a basic genetic level to lure people to me.
Yeah.
And I used the Starbucks Cup of Joe, the worldwide, the smell.
Love that
just
coffee.
to lure them in and bring them to me. And if that frightens anyone, so be it.
Well, I was thinking more about the fear of ISIS and persecution and being beheaded. But do people have a reason to fear you, Starbucks siren? I mean, I am gay, but I am loving you right now.
I can tell. You keep inching your chair just a little bit closer.
You noticed.
Yes. Well, I am a terrifying being deep down. After all, I do fund and symbolize a corporation bent on world domination through caffeine.
Yeah. You could dominate me.
Oh, we'll see. I'll put that away till later. Maybe if you've been a bad boy.
Oh.
Now, as for these terrorist organizations, they love coffee too, and I'm not one to turn anyone away.
So you have no moral, ethical, political compass guiding your business pursuits?
Oh,
not that I would blame you for that. You can do whatever you want.
No, I am simply existing to lure as many as I can to the ventis and the grandes of Starbucks.
Laissez-faire.
Oui.
Potter, the Starbucks siren is a lovely, lovely siren. It was a pleasure. And apparently coffee is available for everybody, ISIS or not.
Well, thank you, Anderson. I guess that's why I have mine every single day. Maybe it has to do with the allure of the siren herself. Well, let's go outside to the World Sports Desk and Fired Up Frank. And Fired Up, what is going on in the world of midget hockey?
Oh, Potter, it's actually really calm here at the rink. The sounds are playing. The little hockey team is on the ice, but there's no one in the stands because they are not impressed by the solid fundamentals of the Little People Hockey League, the LPHL. It's just a slower game. The fights are less interesting. No one actually gets knocked out. And frankly, I'm just sitting here whiling away the time till the game's over.
Well, thank you, Fired Up. Let's go over to the World Weather Desk and Daisy Rainmaker. What's going on in planet Earth?
Hello, I am here on the border of Turkey, and there are a lot of people fleeing Syria, and it is just if we're talking about weather, then the atmosphere here is one of desperation
and also hope, and it is just so touching, and I just wish this world wasn't so messed up, but it's sunny. It's sunny.
Well, thank you, Daisy, and thank you for tuning in to Win World Local News. I'm Potter Smittss. Good day, and stay tuned for Community Court next on the World Improv Network.
Give the Wincast your suggestions via Facebook, Twitter, or the KZKO Win blog during the commercial break of a case that needs to be heard during Community Court. Next on KZKO.
You are listening to Win on KZKO. Check them out every Monday from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. Only on KZKO The Vibe.